Okay, students. Good morning to all of you. Yes. So in last class we are discussing about Huygens principle, Nana, and what is that Huygens principle states? 2 points it is there, Nana. So first point is what? Every point acts like a source to produce a spherical wavefront. Okay? Every source of light will produce a spherical wavefront. First point. Second point is every point on this spherical wavefront will produce its corresponding wavelet. The tangent to the corresponding wavelet gives a new wavefront. So like this, in this manner, the wavefront will spread out in forward direction. In forward direction, wavefront will spread out. Okay, this is what the Huygens principle given. Clear? Yes. Now, see here, very important point here is, see now, if you take a point source, a point size source, if you take a point size source, okay, this point size source will produce a wavefront in all directions. Okay, so it will send the intensity of light in all directions. No, so due to that, the wavefront due to this point source will be spherical in shape now. Spherical, exactly spherical shape wavefront will produce. Because why, sir? Why? Because see, this point source will spread the light in all directions equally like this. It will spread the light in all directions equally. Clear? Yes. Now, if you want a wavefront, what is a wavefront? Wavefront is nothing but collection of all the particles which are moving with vibrating with the same phase. Okay. Now, see at this point, if you take one particular distance of r, one particle. At this location, see, it is nothing but a wavefront. Wavefront is nothing but it is traveling in the form of a wave. Wave equation, you know, y is equal to a sin omega t minus kx plus phi. Correct? Yes, you know. No? Yes. Now, in this equation, total equation is called as phi. That is omega t minus kx plus initial theta, initial angle theta. This is initial phase, epoch we can say. Okay. Now, phase of all the particles will be same when x value is same, distance is same. Clear? Now that means if the distance of all the particles are same, then the phases of all the particles should be same, then will be same. Yes or no? So from this point source, take the points which are at equal distance and collect them in a particular line. Then that line will be formed like a sphere. No? Yes. So that all the points which are lying on the sphere will have same phase. So this portion we call it as wavefront. Okay, na? What is a wavefront? Wavefront is nothing but locus of all the particles which are vibrating with the same phase. Okay? So collection of all the particles. If these distances are equal, then only these particles will vibrate with same phase according to this equation. This distance should be same, then only this total phase should be constant. If x is different, then phase also different. We want same phase particle. So distance should be same. Distance is same is like a sphere. That means a point source will produce which type of wavefront? Spherical wavefront. Very important point. Okay? This is one spherical wavefront. This is second spherical wavefront if you want. Third spherical wavefront if you want. Like this. This phase different. What I am saying? This phase are different. But phase of all the particles on this wavefront are same. Phase of all the particles on this wavefront are same. Phase of all the particles on this wavefront are same. Are you getting clear? So what you have to say? If a point source is there, point source produces spherical shape wavefront. Very important. How can you produce Answer what? Point source. Reason just now I explained. Okay. Now let us imagine. There is a not point source. There is a line of source is there like this. Nothing but tube light. Tube light will be there. No, like that one tube light is there. Now this tube light is sending light. This tube light is emitting light. How it will emit? This is a tube light. It will emit here, three-dimensionally. Clear? Yes. Around its spherical surface, it will emit light. Clear? Yes. So if I say this is a one point, this point will produce a wavefront like this. Correct? Yes. Second point I give you. This point will produce a wavefront like this. You don't see here. You see from topmost point. It is a spherical shape. Like this. If it become this. Okay? Next, one more point. This also will produce a spherical surface, spherical wavefront. This also produces a spherical wavefront. This also will produce a spherical wavefront. Now collect all these. Means it will be like this. This is the source of light. It will send out the light in all directions. This point, topmost point I am showing you here, this will spread the wavefront in all directions. Okay? So a line source of light will produce cylindrical wavefront. This is a cylinder in shape. No? So this is a line. Now this line will spread the intensity in all directions. Like this. So now the phases should be same, means these distances should be same like this. So it should be a sphere like this here and total arc like this. Okay, surrounding point. Spherical surface should be there. Then only all the particles on the spherical surface will have same. Here also is there, here also is there, here also, here also. Three-dimensionally you imagine. Okay, so what we can say? We can say that a line of source which is emitting light will produce cylindrical wavefront. Very important point, and these all are very important points. Okay, next, one more wavefront also we can imagine, that is plane wavefront. Plane wavefront. What is a plane wavefront, sir? Plane wavefront is nothing but, see, you have a point source. This point source will produce a spherical wavefront. Yes or no? Yes. Now I am seeing this part from this side. I am seeing, okay, from this side I am seeing this spherical surface. Okay, from this distance is small, it will appear to be spherical in shape like this for me. It appears to be spherical in shape now. Clear? Yes. But if I move away, that means this point source is far away. Then I can see only this part of this wavefront. And this part appears to me like a plane wavefront. Okay, like this. On plane wavefront will appear. Are you understanding? Like a plane. It appears to be like a plane. One plane like this. Firm. Like this. For you. Okay, that means if a point source is at infinite distance, then the wavefront of that point source appears to be plane, like a plane surface. Or if you take a cylindrical wavefront, like this, a cylindrical wavefront. Okay, now if you are seeing from here, it will appear to be cylindrical. Okay, good. But if it is far away from you, then only this part is visible for us. Only this line is visible for us, and this line appears to be cylindrical like this. That means a plane wavefront can be produced by a point source or a line source if they are at infinite distance, a long distance. Okay? Clear? That means point source or line source at large distance produces plane wavefront. Okay, so what our article here is, what is wavefront we have discussed. Locus of all the particles which are vibrating with the same phase is called as wavefront. Wavefronts are three types. What are the three types of wavefronts? One is spherical wavefront, cylindrical wavefront, plane wavefront. Spherical wavefront is produced by a point source. Explanation I have explained. Cylindrical wavefront is produced by a line source. This explanation also I have given. Okay? Whereas plane wavefront is produced by line source or point source at a long distance. Distance of that point source or line source should be more, so that the wavefront appears to be like a plane wavefront. Okay, three types of wavefronts, and what are their sources? Which can produce a spherical wavefront? Point source can produce spherical wavefront. Okay, line source can produce a cylindrical wavefront. Point source or line source, one line source at long distance can produce a plane wavefront. Okay, now whatever may be the wavefront, whether it is spherical or cylindrical, this is spherical wavefront. Okay, this is almost spherical wavefront. If you draw a line, these lines, how they will be done? These lines, how they will be according to your knowledge? How they will be these lines? These lines are perpendicular to this wavefront. No, yes. Any point which is drawn from the center of the sphere or circle to a point on that circumference will be called as a normal. Yes. So these lines which are perpendicular to the spherical surface called as ray of light. Okay, what is a ray of light? Means a wave is traveling. Yes, let us imagine here one wave is traveling like this. Wave is traveling, advancing in this direction. Then can you draw a ray of light for this? Yes, I can draw. Let us imagine. This is a ray of light. These are rays of light, like this, spreading like this. Okay, so if you draw a line which is perpendicular to this wavefront, then that line will be called as ray of light. Okay, remember, very important point. This is very important point. In next classes we will discuss this point. Very important. We have one proof. There we will use this small point. Okay, always ray of light is perpendicular to the wavefront. Okay, now if you imagine wavefront is a plane wavefront. If you imagine a plane wavefront like this, there is a plane wavefront like this. Then what is the ray of light we will draw for this? It should be perpendicular like this. It should be perpendicular like this. Means imagine this is a wavefront. Then from this ray are traveling. This is a wavefront. Can you see this? Yeah. See here. Now ray should be perpendicular to this like this. Always perpendicular. The line is perpendicular to the wavefront, then that line is called as what? Ray of light. Always rays of light are perpendicular to the wavefront. This is a wavefront, plane wavefront. For this plane wavefront, this line is perpendicular. Okay? And one more point, if I want to show you, see, let us imagine this is not a wavefront. One part of a wavefront. Let us imagine. This is a wavefront. Then how can you draw a ray of light for this? You have to draw a ray of light for this. This may be ray of light or this may be ray of light. Going up or going down, but it should be perpendicular to the wavefront. Always ray of light perpendicular to the wavefront. Always this angle should be like this. Remember. Here, the line which is perpendicular to the wavefront is called as ray of light. And there are three types of wavefronts. They are spherical wavefront, cylindrical wavefront, and plane wavefront. Source of spherical wavefront is point source. A point source like a tube light. Tube light can produce which type of wavefront? Tube light can produce a spherical wavefront. Like this. Bulb. Which type of wavefront it can produce? It can produce a spherical wavefront. Whereas your light, tube light, it is like this. Which type of wavefront it can produce? It can produce a cylindrical wavefront like this. Very important point. Okay, very important. You must remember these are constants. Clear? Yes. Now, how this spherical wavefront, cylindrical wavefront, and wavefront intensity varies with the distance? Let us see. We know that intensity I is equal to, already we have discussed this point. I think so. Intensity is nothing but power upon area. Let us imagine that here there is a light is there, bulb is there. This bulb is there. Okay. Let us imagine this bulb is 10 watt. Wattage I am saying 10 watts bulb is there. This power of the bulb is 10 watt. Then at a particular distance of R, how much intensity of light you can get? How much intensity of light you can get? See, this bulb will spread out light in all directions. Spherically. Okay? Like this. Then at this point, if you want intensity means power emitted by light upon this area of perception, in this area, because that intensity will be spread out for the total area. Total area we should find. Here that is power upon spherical surface 4 pi r square. Okay? That means for a spherical wavefront, intensity is inversely proportional to square of the distance. Inversely proportional to square of the distance. Very important point, na? Remember, very important point. Whereas if you take a tube light like this, then it will send the light in all directions like this. Cylindrically. Then at a distance of r, then intensity will be power upon area of 2 pi r. Here area is 2 pi r. That means here intensity is inversely proportional to distance. Point is important for your objective. Remember, these 2 points are for subject, whereas these points are for objective point. Remember, these relations are very important. Intensity, I am saying that power upon area. For spherical surface, area is 4 pi r square. For cylindrical surface, 2 pi r is the area. Correct? Yes. So intensity is inversely proportional to radius r. P is constant. Power of the bulb is constant. 2 is constant. 5 is constant. So that's why I am giving it. And a plane wavefront intensity is constant. Plane surface intensity will be constant. Okay. Now, what about amplitude of a wave? If you discuss in terms of amplitude of a wave, we know that intensity of a wave can be given as half rho a square omega v. This is the formula for intensity of a wave. Intensity of a wave formula is half rho a square omega v. This proof I will give you later. Proof is there, I will give you later. Wait. Okay. From this, half is constant, rho is density of that medium, constant. Let us take one particular medium, omega, angular frequency. Let us imagine a source is producing with some angular frequency. So omega constant, distance v is distance. Okay. Now intensity is directly proportional to amplitude square. Amplitude, wave is going like this. This is the amplitude. That means from this relation, what we can imagine that if the amplitude of a wave is more, then intensity due to that wave will be more. Clear? Got it or not? That means amplitude is proportional to root I. Correct? Yes. See here, take root I here. Is 1 by r. That means amplitude is proportional to 1 by r. Root 1 by r square is 1 by r. Means for spherical wavefront, amplitude is proportional to 1 by r, whereas intensity is proportional to 1 by r square. Did you got these points? What I am saying? I want answer from you. This is the equation. I will give you proof of this equation later. First, tell me these equations, whatever I have written, understood or not? If you say yes, then only I will go forward because it is important point. Yes, sir, understood. Good. Now, cylindrical wavefront I want. Cylindrical wavefront amplitude is proportional to what? Amplitude is proportional to root I. Root I means root 1 by r, means 1 by root r. Okay, very important. And here, because I is constant, that implies B is also constant. That is it. Okay. Now, these two are very important. See, a spherical wavefront, how can you produce? Spherical wavefront can be produced by a point source. Okay. Now, for that spherical wavefront, how the intensity varies with the distance? I is proportional to 1 by r square. Reason I told you. And what about amplitude? How amplitude of a wave, spherical wavefront changes with the distance? A is proportional to 1 by r. Whereas for cylindrical wavefront can be produced by a line source of light, and its intensity of spherical wavefront depends upon distance like this. I is proportional to 1 by r, and its amplitude is proportional to 1 by root r. Very important point for objective point of view. Remember. Clear? Okay. Very important point. I am noting these all. These are all about wavefronts. What are wavefronts? Okay. Now, Huygens principle, he has explained about wave theory of light, wave nature of light, and by this wave nature of light, we can prove reflection of light and refraction of light also. Okay, what is reflection? Angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. What is refraction? N1 sin A is equal to N2 sin R. That two laws we should prove by using wave theory. Okay. Now I am going to that proof. Very important. Proof of law of reflection from wave theory, Huygens wave theory, and proof of law of refraction from Huygens wave theory. Two questions are important for 3 marks for your board exams. Every year, alternately, any one question they are asking for 3 marks. Very important. So first I am going to law of reflection. Law of reflection. Law of reflection by Huygens wave theory. Huygens wave theory. Very important for 3 marks. Very important. Okay? Yes. Now, what is reflection first? Let us imagine there is one surface. Let us imagine XY surface is there here. Like this, one plane surface is there like this. Then, if a ray of light falls on this surface, then what will happen? From the normal, ray will reflect back. Yes. If the angle is incident ray and normal is angle of incident, angle between reflected ray and normal is angle of reflection, then according to first law of reflection, I should be equal to R, and second law of reflection, incident ray, reflected ray, point of normal R should lie in same plane. This is second law of reflection. These two laws we should prove according to Huygens wave theory. Okay, that is our aim now. And it is important for 3 marks for both CBSE students and state students. Very important number. Okay. Now I am going to take this proof according to Huygens wave theory. Okay. Now let us imagine there is one plane surface, XY plane surface is there. Okay. Yeah. So yes, I'm showing you this is a reflecting surface. Let us imagine there is one reflecting surface xy. Now on this reflecting surface, let us imagine one plane wavefront is falling. Wavefront is falling somewhat inclined like this. Okay? Yeah. So at one particular point, one wavefront is falling like this. This is the incident wavefront at point A, B. AB is one wavefront, a plain wavefront. I showed you like this, a wavefront. Like this wavefront. This wavefront, one line wavefront I am showing. Okay? This wavefront, let us imagine falling on this reflecting surface xy. Now, for this wavefront, how can you draw the ray of light? Ray of light will be always perpendicular to the wavefront. Okay? Yeah. So now, ray of light is coming like this. This angle should be perpendicular. This angle should be 90 degrees. Then only these are called as rays of light. Okay? Two rays I am showing you. Two rays I am showing you. Okay? Clear? Got it? Yes. Now, see, a wavefront AB is falling on this mirror. First, when let us imagine the wavefront is somewhat inclined to this. It is not falling like this exactly. Let us imagine wavefront is somewhat inclined. Wavefront is somewhat inclined like this. Okay. First, which part will incident on? First point A will incident on the mirror. No? Yes. Now, I will take angle of incident. Now, how to draw an angle of incident? At this point, you draw a normal. This is the normal. Now, this is the incident ray, and this is also incident ray only, but it is not incident here, so I am not drawing. So, this angle we call angle of incident. Correct? Yes. This is the incident ray. Incident ray PA, P2A is incident ray, and P dash B is incident ray. Angle of incident is angle between incident ray and normal. Yes, I have drawn. Clear? Okay. Now, this wavefront, it is traveling with the speed of velocity of light. It is traveling with the speed of velocity of light. Yes or no? Yes. So it is coming like this. This point is incident. Now what happened? This point B, this end, is traveling with the speed of c. Then after a time of t seconds, it will travel a distance of c into t. Yes or no? And then it will this point will incident. So by traveling a distance of ct, this point B will incident on the surface. And at the same time, because this is a wavefront means nothing but all the particles should have same phase. Means all the particles should travel same distance. When point B travels a distance of ct, when it will incident here, then point A will reflect back. When this incident is falling like this, when this point touches this mirror, this point will reflect out. Why it is reflecting? How much distance this point will travel? Equal distance, because each and every point will travel with the same speed, because this medium is uniform. In uniform medium, all the particles of a wavefront will travel same speed. With the same speed. So, if point B travels a distance of ct, then point A also will travel a distance of ct, but it will reflect. Clear? Yes. So, I am drawing one. This is incident ray for this normal, and this will be reflected ray for this normal. Reflected ray for this normal. Okay? This reflected ray. This is the reflected ray. Okay, now, when point B incident on this, it will travel a ct distance, then point A also will travel a ct distance. So, here see, the wavefront will become like this. Means when it is here, when it will incident, it will become like this. So, this is a reflected wave ray for this, and this is the incident ray, and it will reflect back like this. And if you want, this will be another normal. Are you understanding what I am drawing there? This wavefront, when it becomes like this, these rays these two rays, it is reflecting like this is reflecting like this, and because this is reflecting, this angle will be our angle of reflection, and this point B, let us call this as B dash, is traveling ct distance, then point A, I call this is A dash, I call this B dash, I call this point distance also ct, because B to A distance and A to B dash to B dash distance should be same, because this wavefront is traveling with the same speed. Then it will coming here. Point B is traveling with the speed of light in a time t. How much distance it will travel? Point A also we should travel same distance. A dash B dash distance is ct I am showing here. Okay, na? Is it okay? Whatever I have explained till now. Okay. Now. See, observe carefully. This is the normal with angle of incident. Okay? And you know this angle, how much range? 90 degrees. Because this is the wavefront, and for the wavefront, ray of light is perpendicular on this. So this is 90. If this is I, this will be 90 minus I. Correct? Yes. And we know this angle is 90. This is a normal for the plane surface, A dash, XY surface, this is a normal. This total is 90 degrees now. If this is 90 minus I, then this angle is high. Correct? Because this total is 90 and this angle is 90 minus I means this angle will be high. Now, come to this point. This is R value. And this will be, because this is a wavefront, this is a reflected ray. So this total is 90 degrees. This is R means this is 90 minus R. Correct? Yes. Now, this total is 90 degrees. This is normal. This is the plane surface. 90 degrees. This is 90 minus R means this angle will be R. Are you getting that angle? Small angles. These angles are important. You should explain these all things. Now, see triangles A, B, A dash triangle and triangle A dash, sorry, A, B dash, A dash, A, B dash, A dash. Okay? Now, see, AB is a wavefront, A dash, B dash is wavefront. AB is what now? Wavefront. A dash, B dash is also a wavefront. That means this length should be equal. Okay? Next. A dash, sorry, A dash is some constant length. And here also is there A dash. This is also some constant length. Because this triangle base is A dash, this triangle base is also A dash. So it is constant. Next, see this B to A dash, this length. B to A dash length is equal to CB. Whereas A to B dash length is also CT. Because these two triangles we are having, A, B, A dash, okay, this is going to be this, and A dash, B dash, this is 90 degrees. A, B dash, A, B, A dash. Okay? This angle is I, this angle is R. We are having. Okay? Now, from these two triangles, AB is a wavefront, A dash, B dash is also wavefront. These two sides are similar. A dash, similar. Okay? A dash B is CT distance, A B dash is also CT distance. all angles are, all sides are equal. That means we can say this triangle and this triangle are congruent triangle. Then if these two are congruent angle, then this angle and this angle should be equal. That implies I is equal to R. Why I am saying? Because these two triangles A, B dash are congruent triangles. So if these two are congruent triangles, this angle and this angle should be equal. So we can say I is equal to R. This is the proof for law of reflection according to Huygens wave theory. Very important. I'll repeat it one more time. I think so. You are having some confusion. I'll repeat it one more time. Students, daily your attendance is reducing. Today is 16 only. Why? Reason what? Only 16 students are there. Okay. Did you understand this point? This first law of reflection, I is equal to R we have proved. Now, second law of reflection, yes. See, incident wavefront, reflected wavefront, and normals all lies in this board only. That means incident rays, reflected rays also should lie in the same plane. Yes, this is a wavefront means this is a ray of light for that wavefront. Perpendicular, not should be like this. It should be perpendicular. So if this wavefront lies in this plane, this ray also should lie in this plane. Means incident ray, reflected ray, normal lies in the same plane. So second law of reflection also proved. Got it? Point is important what I am saying. So main point how I am getting this is I, this is R. From this point. From this point. Incident ray is perpendicular to the wavefront. This is the main thing now. If you don't know this value, then you can't get this I. This is a very important point here. So what is this point? This point is the ray is always perpendicular to the wavefront. I hope you understand this. I'll repeat this same question one more time. I'll repeat definitely because you must understand this. This is very important question for 3 marks for your board exams. Every year they are asking them. Repeated question, 100%. This are next question. Anyone? Okay, Rana? So we will continue in next class with the same